principal, so who's sort of the head of the College of Social Sciences and Law, of which economics is part. So Colin, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Ron. And don't worry about me. I have my own microphone, so I can manage that very well. Thanks. So I'd like to start by congratulating you all on earning your place to study with us in economics here at UCD. As Ron says, my name is Colin Scott and I'm Dean of Social Sciences, which means that I have overall responsibility for your learning and progress with your studies whilst you're with us at UCD. Just a reminder to people to mute their microphones, just to cut out some of the cross noise as we go on. This day when we welcome our new students is the happiest day of the year for a dean, because I know how hard you have worked to get here, that you will learn a great deal both within and outside the on-campus and virtual classrooms, and you will be transformed by the experience and bring what you've learned into the next stage of your life and career on completing your studies. You've come to study with us at UCD through lots of different routes. Many of you have recently finished your schooling at a very challenging time, completing your studies remotely, with uncertainties first around exams and then around grades and higher education entry. Some of you have come through educational pathways offered by further education, and others again, university access courses. Some of you have been away from study for some years and are taking the opportunity to study in economics as a mature student. Some of you have come from overseas for a new adventure, not just in higher education, but also a different country. Many of you have worked through significant challenges to earn your place at UCD, and especially over the last few months when we have all faced many challenges, personal and professional, that we could never have anticipated. You all equally deserve to be here and all have the conditions to thrive in your study and wider student life. I want to tell a brief story about myself. Now, when I started as a student in university, which I must admit is some decades ago now, I moved from a small provincial town around 350 kilometres to take up a place in London. Whilst I had done quite well at school, I felt very much an outsider moving to London. I worried I would not be smart enough, not cool enough, not fitting in with people I perceived better fitted than me. I discovered during my first year or so that most people had a very similar feeling of apprehension, and I wish someone had told me this on my first day. Universities are large places, and everyone can find their niche, their way of studying, their supports, and their friendship group. This brings me to the changed circumstance of starting UCD this year. I could not avoid speaking briefly to you about the pandemic. You will not have all the usual opportunities to meet people face to face and to engage socially or educationally at the start because of restrictions on gatherings affecting both teaching and wider social activities. I should say that UCD campus is currently open, I'm here at the moment, with library and study spaces, cafes and shops for takeaway foods, the sports centre with its gym and swimming facilities, and many students, including some of you, living in UCD residences. Thus, if you need to be on campus for study, Wi-Fi, sport, and so on, you can attend. You'll be aware that our government is currently emphasising the need to reduce social contacts to reduce the spread of the disease. In the college, we're emphasising a Be Safe and Sound campaign, taking all the precautions necessary to protect ourselves and each other from the virus. When you are on campus, you can come to the Social Sciences office and you can collect a Be Safe and Sound badge that I'm wearing at the moment, and this year's essential fashion accessory, a face covering with the same slogan. There we are. Most of our teaching will be online, at least at the start. Societies are putting on online events, as is UCD Students' Union. Many of UCD sports clubs are able to put on some training activities currently. And I would encourage you to take up the opportunities you can to engage and to meet, whether online or in person, and be reassured the COVID pandemic will pass. There'll be some easing of restrictions over time in the next few weeks, we hope, and likely some continuing restrictions into next calendar year, but over time, a return to something we might think of as a normal life. If you find things difficult, I encourage you to reach out for support, whether in understanding how to manage your studies, what activities to engage with, how to meet and engage with others. Do be proactive in finding ways to know others and let us know what works for you that we can share with others. As Dean of Social Sciences, the most important thing to me is that you're able to progress well with your studies at UCD. You are all very able and capable for the education and learning we're offering you. It's different from experiences in school in that you have much more responsibility for your own learning. to ensure you know which classes to attend, what preparations to do, building up your notes, getting assessments completed on time, and so on. You need to take responsibility for this. Everyone does their academic work, of course, in different ways. You've all had success with managing your work, and so a good starting point is to adapt your tried and trusted techniques to this new environment. You need to work hard with university study, but you do not need to work on your studies every hour you're awake. As a benchmark, if you are devoting around 30 hours a week to studies, including your classes, this is a good start. If you find you're keeping up with preparation, attending classes, getting assessments in on time, getting the feedback that progress is good, then you're doing fine. If you're finding it difficult to keep up, you might need to do a little more and or get support from the range of supports we have available, including the program director, model coordinator, the student advisor, the maths and writing centres in the library, or the UCD Students' Union. You can also, of course, engage with your peers, other students, for support. Most students progress well with their studies. If there are challenges, most students are able to get the supports they need to assist them, and they work effectively through whatever difficulties they experience. A key thing is to attend your classes, whether online or in an actual classroom. I'm going to say this 3 times. Go to class, go to class, go to class. Engaging with classes, learning about the expectations for your learning, and following through with your preparation, class attendance, assessment, and so on, gives you the best possible opportunity to progress and to thrive academically at UCD. You will hear a lot this week about studying and engaging more broadly while at UCD. You do not need to pick up everything this week, and you will fairly quickly feel at home with the ways of studying and the wider ways of life while at university. We see orientation for our new students as a trimester-long activity, so stay in touch throughout the trimester. I wish to repeat my congratulations and my welcome to you at UCD, and to wish you a very productive and rewarding UCD career. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Colin. I don't know if you need to take up, but if you do, thanks for dropping by. Aisling, do you want to go next? You want me to go next?
I'll just unmute there. Hi, everybody. I'm Aisling Reynolds Feehan, and I'm Professor of Transport Economics. I'll be taking you for the Exploring Economics module, and I want to add my welcome to Collins and say congratulations and well done on earning your place here. I'm delighted to see you all, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you in smaller groups and hopefully face-to-face over the course of the next few weeks. So the Exploring Economics module will kick off next week, and it's a module just for this class group where we're going to work on everybody getting to know everyone else in the class and building up some basic skills and settling you into university life. So congratulations again on getting here. I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope you have a fun and exciting time. University is the best time of your life, and I really hope you have a good time and enjoy your time at UCD. Thanks, Ron.
Cool. So I've just got a couple of things, bits of advice to offer, and then we'll just open it up for whatever questions you guys have. So, you know, the first thing, the biggest mistake that people make in terms of their undergraduate career is they don't get to know their profs. You know, you can tell by my accent, I'm not, you know, born Irish. And the thing that I find super frustrating about teaching in Ireland is, for the most part, students never ever ask questions. And if they do, they're almost rarely Irish. And, you know, this is a huge problem because it sucks on a bunch of levels. So one, in terms of like lecturing, it's just boring. You know, otherwise I'm just standing in front of a room or, you know, sitting in my dining room, you know, talking to myself, and that's not that fun. But if I don't understand what people get and what they don't get, it's really hard for me to figure out what I need to say again, or what I need to say in a different way, or what we want to talk about more. It's going to be especially hard this year because of the whole face mask thing. You know, I've done a bit of talking already with people, and when everyone has a mask on, which you are expected to wear a mask at all times in economics classrooms, it's hard to figure out what people get, what they don't. And so you need to talk to us. Let us know what you get. Let us know what you don't. You know, if there's stuff that you are struggling with in terms of the material or stuff that you're interested in and you want to talk more about, let us know. You know, we love this shit. You know, we all became profs for a reason. We could have gone, you know, into private practice as economists and made way more money. We like talking about this stuff. We like encouraging other people to think about these things. You know, for me, I started off as a marketing major back in 1989. And I thought I'd write jingles for a living. You know, I'm a musician and I just thought this would be a way, you know, to, you know, actually make money on a regular basis while still doing what I liked. And so I had to take economics as part of my marketing degree. And I remember the first guy I took was a guy named John Lyons. And, you know, he had this sort of big Karl Marx beard and long hair, but really nothing on top. And just the way he explained stuff just fit. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's the way I think about things. And, you know, I got to know John, you know, during my undergraduate. And then actually when I started here at UCD, one of the other staff members, Cormac, he invited me over for dinner and he's like, I have a surprise for you in the back garden. And I went out and it was John. You know, Cormac and John actually knew each other because they were both economic historians. And so, you know, I sat in the back garden drinking beer with John. And, you know, and I got the chance to tell him, like, you know, he changed my entire life had it not been for him. And so, you know, if you don't talk to us, one aspect of it is you're not going to learn as much. Another aspect of it is it's really hard for us to write letters of recommendation in 3 years' time for people that we've never met. But the other aspect of it is, you know, we live this stuff kind of, you know, we really enjoy being profs. And when you talk to us and we get to talk to you about what interests you, you know, that's what really makes it a really fun job for us. It's going to be kind of a pain in the ass this year because we got to do a lot of our lectures, at least at the start, like this. We don't know how long it's going to go on. So UCD has told us this week is online. They have not said what happens next week yet. My guts tell me that because the restrictions in Dublin have been announced for 3 weeks, I'm assuming it's at least the next 2.5 weeks we will be online. What happens after that, I have no idea. You know, we found out that we were going to be online this week, Friday, around about lunchtime. So, you know, when we know, we'll make sure we let you guys know. But the communication with us about what works in terms of online teaching, what is not working in terms of online teaching, you know, we've done this at most 5 weeks at the end of last year. We're learning how to best do this in terms of, you know, the technology, in terms of how to get stuff across. Let us know what's working. Let us know what's not, so we can change it up as we need to. You know, we're trying to do this as best we can, but if we don't get the feedback from you guys early and often, it's going to be super tough for us to do that job. You know, the one thing that we got, so we did a survey at the end of last year about what people thought about the switch to online teaching. And like the lectures going online, for the most part, students were perfectly okay with that. They didn't have any problems with that. The one thing that did turn out to be the big issue that people missed about being on campus was their friends. Talking to other people in the classroom, talking to friends from wherever. And, you know, we can't make friends for you. You know, some of the people we have working for us can't really make friends, period. But if you give us ideas about ways we can sort of promote that working together aspect of it to help you guys get to know each other and work together, even as we have to do it online or at distance once we get back on campus, tell us, give us those ideas, because you guys will have a much better idea about how to pull all this off than I necessarily will. You know, my daughter's in 6th year now, you know, and she's much more tech savvy than I am, and I'm not terrible at it. So we need you to help us. We need you to communicate with us. It'll make this year so much better for everyone, especially this group, because you guys are sort of the cream of the crop. You know, you guys are our chosen few. Yeah, you know, there's the DN 700 kids that you guys will have classes with, but the single honors, the DN 710, you guys are kind of the ones that we're most invested in a one-on-one basis. And so, that communication is really, really critical. And that's the first bit of advice I got. Second bit of advice I have is, and I always sort of get flack for saying this, it's not that hard to graduate from university. You got to work hard. Colin said go to class, and he's right. You got to go to class, do your homework, do a little bit every day, and it won't get overwhelming. If you stay on top of it, it's so much easier, but it's not that hard. Now, what that means though is you're going to have a lot of time to explore other stuff, and you should. There are lots of groups and organizations and sports opportunities on campus. Take advantage of those. Again, it's weird and hard because of COVID, but try. If you're a musician, start a band. If you're a dancer, get in a troupe. If social justice is your thing, volunteer. Getting involved in the community, getting involved in campus, getting involved with life is one of the best parts about doing your university time. Classes are important, but they're only a part of the campus experience, like that survey, right? Classes moved online, people were fine with that. What they missed was that interaction. They missed that society. You guys are sort of at an age where kind of you can fuck up without huge consequences. I mean, don't take pills that you don't know what they are. I don't want anyone dying on my watch. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go robbing banks and say Ron said it was cool. But take chances. Do stuff outside your comfort zone. Get to know people you didn't go to high school or secondary school with. Get to know people from other cultures. Get to know people from everywhere. Try something different. Because you got 3 to 4-ish years to sort of try out who you think you might want to be. And, if you come out of your undergrad being the exact same person you are when you went in, you made a mistake. It's a chance for growth. Academically, that's what we're here to kind of focus on. But don't forget about the other aspect of it. Try stuff, get out there, be bold. Because, this is one of the chances you have where, worst case scenario, mom and dad let you move back in for a while. Again, stay out of jail, don't die, be nice to each other, wash your hands, wear a fucking mask. But try something, be bold about it. So that's my advice. What questions do you guys have? Type them in, shout them out. Aisling, do you have anything to follow up with?
No, just could I suggest that people put on their videos and turn on their cameras? It's nice to see each other. As Ron said, it's going to be difficult to get to know people because we have to do this at distance. But please put on your cameras, folks, and have a look at each other. Say hello to each other, wave at each other. You guys are going to grow as a class over the next 3 years, and it's really important that you lean on each other, you learn from each other, and turn on the cameras, please. And any questions or any queries, flip your hand and we'll try and scan and see, or type in on the chat there if you have any questions.
We already know Owen Guilfoyle there likes chicken goujons. I saw you mowing down on those.
Hey, there's more cameras coming in now. Great.
So you can drop questions in the chat box or just turn on your mic, shout them out.
Are the student ambassadors with us? There was
chicken nugget.
I'm a student ambassador. Murray just asked me to just give a little kind of talk. Will I just go ahead and do that now, or?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So, hi guys. So my name's Sam. So I'm a third-year economics student. First off, I'd just like to say welcome to UCD. Fair play for getting here. I know it's no easy feat, especially with the way the Leaving Cert went this year. I know not all of you will be Leaving Cert students, but I know you've kind of got a bit side-guarded there. So fair play on getting here firstly. I know things are a little different as well. We're not running obviously orientation as we normally would or lectures as we normally would, but UCD has made such an effort to try and accommodate us for that. I was actually involved in trying to plan the orientation, and like we said, we got a little caught off guard with everything being pushed online, but there was a great effort made by UCD, so try and get the most out of it. You should have all met your peer mentor group by now, so you should be somewhat familiar, maybe have a group chat with others in your group. Just on what Ron said about getting involved with people, now is your chance to kind of get chatting. I'd strongly recommend getting chatting to the people within your group. You'll have your peer mentor as well, but even just the people in your group, they're people that you're going to have to interact with within your lectures. You might see them in your tutorials as well. So they're great to just have kind of be familiar with or whatever. You can ask questions with or go to societies or whatever. It's just a great foundation to have going in, especially now that it's online. So I'd strongly recommend getting involved with that peer mentor group. Yeah, I'd also say be proactive in trying to chat to other people in your lectures. So this is obviously your course here. You're going to meet them in tutorials and whatever. So I just recommend trying to chat to them. Don't be afraid to turn your camera on and kind of ask questions like Ron said there. Try and ask questions in the chat. If you have something to ask, just ask. Don't be afraid to get involved, because that's what kind of college is all about, getting involved in your lectures, getting involved with your lecturers and your tutorials, societies and all that crack. Yeah, I was just going to say on societies as well, there's literally a million societies. There's a society for everyone out there. There's a food society, a Harry Potter society. There's a society for literally everything. So I think that's worth looking at and getting involved in. Maybe don't do what I do and sign up for every society under the sun and then get 500,000 emails every week about different things. Have a look and pick a couple that you think you're interested in and try and get involved in them. Yeah, I kind of think that's kind of all I had to say. Just if I have any advice, I just strongly recommend kind of, especially now because you don't have a lot of the on-campus element, I strongly recommend getting involved with the others around you, your peer mentor group and people in your societies. Don't be afraid to kind of put yourself out there because like Ron said, I'm definitely not the same person I was when I walked into UCD in first year. And that's because I put myself out there in societies and different opportunities came my way. So peer mentoring came my way, peer mentor advisor came my way. And that's where I met most of my friends. So I'd strongly recommend just putting yourself out there and kind of branching out a bit. And then also this year more than ever, don't be afraid to ask for help. So the likes of kind of your peer mentor, your counselors, you have a writing center support, you have a math center support, and then ask your lecturers. Your lecturers are literally there to help you. They are the people who are writing your tests, who are grading and everything. They are the people you should get involved with. And again, 3 or 4 years down the line, when you need an academic reference, if they look at you and go, who are you? You know, that does not stand to help you. So definitely get involved and go to the office hours, have a chat. So yeah, and just try and enjoy it. I know it's a bit different this year, but like I said, UCD has made such an effort to try and accommodate you. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. Best of luck.
Cheers. Thanks, Sam.
No bother.
Anybody else got questions, thoughts, comments, hopes, dreams? I can't tell if Rob Hunter's got his finger up for ask a question, or you're just like, oh, you're poking at your head with a pen. I see. All right.
Well, if you do think of any other questions, you can always contact us on economics at UCD. There is also drop-in center run by Gavin if you're having problems.
So one of the things we do is we have, we're not supposed to call it the Econ Drop-In Center because the university decided that sounded like a methadone clinic. We're supposed to call it the Economics Resource Center now. And so we've got a guy, Gavin Castles. So it's, I want to say 4 to 6, Monday through Thursday. It's going to be done online. And basically, especially for the intro classes, if you've got questions, Gavin's there. You just drop in, you ask your questions. You know, Gavin's really approachable. And so, you know, if you're sort of tripped up on stuff, ask Gavin, you know, ask your lecturers. I mean, you know, please ask your lecturers. You know, yeah, it's kind of what we get paid for. but it really makes a huge difference if we have a sense of where people are, you know, what they're struggling with, what they're not.
And can I just interject there and introduce Joanna? So Joanna is one of the people that works in the economics school office, and Joanna is so helpful to the students. And just if you've got kind of general queries that aren't tied to a specific module, or that, you know, aren't necessarily, I suppose, study related stuff, Joanna and her colleagues, Nick, Rodrigo, and Helen, they are in the school office and can be contacted by, what's your email address? I'm going to tell you all about this next week in our first lecture in Exploring Economics, but just, I thought we'd introduce you today, Joanna.
All right, well, yes, so I'm Joanna, unpronounceable last name, don't try it. So myself, Rodrigo, Helen, and Nick work in the school office. We can all be contacted via economics@UCD email. We all get that email, so if one of us is out of office, that's not a problem. Yeah, if you have any questions, we can either help you or direct you in the right way. There's some things done by other offices, such as program office or student desk, so we can't always help you, but we can tell you who to contact, okay?
I should reiterate, make sure you email, because our part of the building is under renovation. So the econ office doesn't exist at the moment. So people are working from a different room, which doesn't actually have enough space for social distancing. So most of the time people are working from home. So just drop an email, it's monitored.
Yes, and if you want to talk to us, we can arrange a Zoom like this one-on-one, or Google Hangout. It's not a problem. Just drop us an email and let us know, okay?
That's everything I can think of.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to meeting you next week in the first class, and you know, just please get in touch if there's anything that we can do. And you know, you'll be meeting members of the school over the next few weeks, and they'll come and chat with you and introduce themselves. So have fun. Congrats again on getting here, and I'm really looking forward to working with you this term.
And have a look at the videos that Ron shared on the chat.
What are they? The first one seems to be something.
So this is all from social sciences. There's a few details there that you might find useful. So there's only short videos, about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're supposed to show them and make you watch them. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, just watch them whenever you want, on your whenever suits.
Cool. All right, everybody. You know, stay healthy. With any luck, we'll see you on campus sooner than later. You know, this thing will blow over eventually. It bites. You know, we like being in the room with people. Ah, shit, I feel it. No, I didn't. All right, maybe I did. I don't know. You know, hopefully we get back on campus in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we just don't know. You know, it's not our choice. This comes from above us that tells us what to do. And, you know, at the moment, like this week going online, I don't think was even necessarily our choice. I think it actually came from the government. So yeah, we'll do everything we can to keep you informed. You know, check your email. Otherwise, yeah, good luck, man. And ladies. Talk to you later.
Any last questions? No.
Very shy.
All right. Okay, we're not gonna keep you any longer. So
Cool.
if you can think of anything, drop us an email. Bye.
Bye.